Hey, this is Robbie Stahl with The Fitness Doctor, and I have my client and good friend Christopher Smith, and he's also an expert online fitness trainer. He came to us because of the biomechanical optimization aspects that we do. And what he's going to do today is make all the science mumbo jumbo that I give, and I can make a little too technical sometimes. Chris is going to make it fun, interesting, and digestible, and from the viewpoint that you're going to want to receive the message.
Okay, so today, you guys, we're gonna go through a leg workout, and we're gonna show you how to incorporate all of that sciencey stuff on biomechanical optimization into a workout in order to maximize performance and in order to decrease the chances of injury and get your body performing at its peak levels.
So what we're doing first is the elliptical. We're only gonna do the elliptical for 2 minutes because the elliptical, it's a machine. You don't want to train your body to a machine. Okay, mostly you should be doing free weight, functional stuff. So 2 minutes on elliptical, then you'll see the dynamic warm-up that we do. We're keeping an upright spine, and we're pumping the legs like you're running in place, but you're making some forward progress. Just to get the blood flowing, get the muscles prepped for strength training. Next, we're going into butt kicker. Same thing, posture up, kicking your butt, controlling your knee pressure. This should be very low impact. What we're doing here is we're running 3 steps, and then we're lifting the knee straight up to the front and just comfortably dropping it to the outside. Continuing 3 steps and repeating. And then we're going, in each one of these, we're doing about, this distance we're doing is about 30 yards total. So now we're going to run, pull the knee up to the outside, and then drop it back to the middle, just doing the reverse of what you did in the last exercise. What we're doing here is just a lateral shuffle. Just keep the spine in a good upright position, drop your butt back, stay on the toes, and just shuffle. About 15 yards down, 15 yards back. Okay, what we're doing here is a karaoke, but we're doing it at a moderate speed. And we're turning away from the leg that's back. That way you're stretching the hip flexor and also getting some spinal rotation, getting some blood flow in the spine to get prepped for some of the exercises to come. In the middle of the workout, look who we found hanging out in the corner, but online fitness trainer star Michael Morelli.
Yeah.
So, so now he's going to join us in the workout, and we're going to have even more fun with this guy.
I was actually doing legs too. They're like, you want to do legs? I'm like, yeah, let's do legs. So it just works out nice. Looking forward to it. You the man. Let's go.
So our first resistance training exercise is going to be a leg press. Why are we doing leg press first, the machine exercise? Because we're focusing on the major muscle group, the prime movers of the legs, like the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes. To execute the leg press, create some fatigue in the legs before we go on to squats. So the spinal stabilizers will then be more fresh, and it's easier on the spine this way. One thing you want to make sure of, especially when you're leg pressing heavy weight, is when your knees come back towards you, your butt stays in the seat pad. Otherwise, when your butt starts rolling up, all that weight goes on your lower back. Not good. Okay, so now we're in the conversation about shoes. And Chris asked,
I came to Robbie and I said, hey, what's the best kind of shoe to wear when you're doing leg exercises? And so he tells me that we want flat shoes. We don't want these, what I'm wearing, because they elevate the heels. And so Robbie, why don't you tell them why?
so specifically this is why. Your body's ability to propriocept or sense the position of your foot and the angle of your foot and to feel the floor, it's not going to happen in a regular shoe. But in a shoe that's more of a barefoot, I mean, look how flimsy this is. It just protects the feet from the ground in case you were to step on a rock or something like that. But because you have greater sense, you're going to have greater motor action, so you're going to make your feet stronger. It's going to make your ankle stronger into your knee or hip all the way up the body. You will become more athletic wearing a barefoot shoe, doing your strength training. One caveat, be careful. Don't just jump in a barefoot shoe and start running outside. Not a good idea. Your feet need to get adapted to this slowly.
So Robbie, that was really cool. I have actually never seen squats done with a band like this. So tell me why the band? What are we doing there?
So the most important thing I'll say first is I used to do squats and it hurt my back. I'd feel pain in my back, especially the next day, a lot of tightness. Now my back feels more aligned after. So the question is, why? Well, very common, young males and females can be also, to have an anterior pelvic tilt. Notice how my butt's kind of tilted backwards, a little tighter hip flexors, tighter lower back. Attaching the band forces you to recruit the glutes, keep your pelvis in a neutral position, which keeps the spine in a neutral position, which keeps the excess stress on the discs off of the spine. So that's the number one reason. And of course the side benefit is you're gonna get more glute recruitment. So you girls who want to build your butt, no, you thought squats are good before, you start adding the band, you're gonna develop even more glute musculature.
That's awesome. Good to know.
Why do I have the vest on in these last few sets? Because a barbell presses straight on your spine and begins to smash the disc. But if you use a weighted vest, you can add up all the way to 75 pounds with a weighted vest, where it's encasing your whole trunk of your upper body instead of just pressing straight down in the disc of the spine. Much healthier for your spine, of course. So we did leg press to pre-fatigue the legs. Then we did squats, and we did a very functional form of squats, using all the stabilizing musculature, developing the glutes. And now we're doing leg extension to fatigue the quads. And then we're going to go on to some things that are really different. All right, now that we're done with the warm-up, just kidding. We're way past the warm-up. So what we're doing now is we're doing single leg squats. After all that leg fatigue, now we're doing single leg squats, which is amazing work, especially for the glute medius, which has everything to do with keeping your hips balanced and center and your spine upright, which is like crazily important to help with hip pain and spinal pain. And we're doing a single leg stiff leg deadlift. But the most important question is, why do I have my shirt tucked in like a nerd?
I was gonna ask the same question.
And the reason is, when we do a single leg squat, what you want to do is see your pelvis stay level. And so, as you're standing on one leg and your pelvis stays level, if you put your shorts, you tuck your shirt in, just for that exercise, so you're not walking around the gym looking like a nerd, you can see your pelvic tilt, how you're doing with the single leg squat. So you're seeing the pelvis stay level as I drop down. Now, most people can't do a single leg squat. So, Chris, why don't you show them the regression? In the regression, so to regress this exercise, to build your way up to what I just did, first you would start with your foot behind you on a short platform. This is 12 inches. And then you would just descend down. Chris is keeping his spine straight. He's keeping his pelvis level. And then he's keeping his hip to his knee and a straight line here. He's not letting the knee come in. He's not letting the pelvis shift out. So you want a straight line here with the femur, here with the pelvis, and here with the spine. So you should see yourself in the mirror like this. Spine straight, pelvis straight, working leg straight. So 1, 2, 3 straight lines.
All right, so the next movement is a single leg deadlift. Now the reason we're doing this on one leg instead of two legs is to build stability and to build balance in the body. If you can become balanced and strong on one leg, you can be exponentially stronger on two legs. So check it out, here it is. All right, so you can see how he's hinging through his hip. He's keeping the spine stable. There's no mobility in the spine. All the movement is happening right in the hip, and that's incredibly important for this move. So the other wonderful thing about this move is, when you begin fatiguing, when the muscles or the CNS fatigue, there's feedback. You begin losing balance. Whereas if you were on two legs, you might be fatiguing and continue to do that movement and creep into doing some bad form, which can eventually lead to an injury.
So after doing all that leg training, which also puts a lot of good and healthy pressure, but puts stress on the back musculature and the lower back musculature. So doing abs at the end of a workout, especially if you're a person who gets a tight lower back, doing abs at the end of your workout is amazing. And the reason why is because of something called postsynaptic inhibition. And what that means is the junction between your neurological system and your muscle system, your body will send a signal because this muscle is recruiting from doing abs. It will send a signal to this side of the body to release. So doing abs will tell the lower back to release. That's the great reason why you should do abs after a spinal loading exercise. Along with, of course, it's going to develop your abs and make your abs look great.
So I guess what you're saying, Robbie, is it helps bring balance to everything, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So
it puts that perfect ratio and balance between the musculature.
So to sum it up, you guys, it's important to do abs after a heavy leg workout in order to bring balance to the body.
First ab exercise is what I call a TUT, or time under tension crunch. The goal is to keep your abs under constant contraction. That's where the time under tension comes. So constant contraction in the abdominals, arms over your head, squeezing the abs, crunching your nose towards the ceiling, beginning to come back towards the floor, but don't release the abdomen all the way, and then come back up into crunch again. The second exercise, if you notice, this is a pretty small motion. All I'm doing is tilting my pelvis backwards, smashing the lower back to the floor, and squeezing the lower abdomen. Really good exercise for the lower abdominals. Just a small rotation of the pelvis, squeezing the lower abdominals, smashing the lower back to the floor. The third abdominal exercise and the last exercise of this workout is a prone bridge on the ball with a rollout. Now, if you don't have really strong abdominals, don't do this exercise, just do the other two. Or you can do this exercise just staying in one position and not rolling out with the ball. This is a lot of stress on the abdomen, not a good idea if you don't have enough strength. Draw the abdomen in really tight and then roll the ball out and then control it back to you. And repeat this until your abdominals go to a high fatigue.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found a lot of value in this. And Robbie, thank you so much for taking me through these. I know I've learned a lot of very valuable information, and I hope you can take this and benefit from it as well. Please leave your comments below, and as always, have an amazing day.
And remember, we empower people who mentally want it to physically have it. So put those comments below and let me know what you want so I can help you have it.